shows profound spiritual understanding. I'd actually kind of like to ask everyone to take your checkbooks out now and credit cards and max it to the limit and donate to St. Ambrose, because that testimony by that young man, that's extraordinary, don't you think? I really think it is. And many times our devotion to the Blessed Mother actually is triggered by an event like that, some type of suffering. Now, wherever I go, I like to pull out of my pocket this portable digital recorder and record a Hail Mary. And if you do a good job, we'll put it on the network. They'll hear you in Minnesota, they'll hear you out in New York, New Jersey, down in Texas, they'll hear you out in Montana. You want to do that? Yeah. Okay, you know how it goes if you've listened to Rev Radio before. We're at the Alliant Energy Center on a Saturday night around the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe with 700 Catholics to support St. Ambrose Academy. And the Bishop of Madison is here as well. So, hey everyone, let's say a Hail Mary so that the school flourishes and God bless our own Bishop, Bishop Morlino, and all of his work. Here we go. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. The Alliant Energy Center with 700 supporters of St. Ambrose Academy. This is, and then on the count of three, you say Relic Radio like your Packers fans and Bears game. 1, 2, 3. Relic Radio! I love that energy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Honestly, I had no idea there would be 700 people here this evening. I'm thrilled to see it. I've seen something similar with some other startup Catholic schools around the country. It's the energy that comes from love for your faith. It's very authentic. It's a great thing. And the church is the only institution in the history of the world that always renews herself in spite of us. And the church is being renewed right now through the St. Ambrose Academy school program. So before I actually start my speech, I'd like to see a raise of hands. Who actually went out and voted in the recent election? Does anybody here actually vote? Well, give yourself a round of applause for exercising your hard-earned rights to be a citizen of the country. And I'm proud that Alliant Radio, although we do not talk directly about politics, we remind you to go out and vote. We know that you're intelligent and that you are citizens of this country. It's very important to vote. Otherwise, the voice of Christ does not have a voice in the public arena and needs to. So I've been asked you to talk tonight. I call it Learn It, Live It, Love It, and You'll Never Leave It. The beauty about the Catholic faith. Normally, it's a longer talk and we try to condense it. It goes back to a number of years ago when I was serving as a chaplain in the boys' camp down in Indiana. I'm a priest of Opus Dei, and I was assigned to the boys' camp, the leadership camp. There are 2 weeks. The first week was 5th and 6th grade boys. The second week, 7th and 8th grade boys. And on the first day of camp for the 5th and 6th graders, we have mass outdoors in a pavilion at 8:30 in the morning. I asked the boys that morning, how many of you are Catholic? They almost all raised their hands. The 5th and 6th graders, they loved to raise their hands. I said, how many of you are born Catholic? Oh, their hands are up. I said, how many of you died Catholic? Now they got both hands up in the air. I said, I love that enthusiasm. But I have to tell you, fellas, not everybody who starts as a Catholic finishes up as a Catholic. And during the course of the week at camp, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to train you what it means to be a practicing Catholic. Because it's like anything else. Sports, or music, or studies, if you don't practice it, if you don't practice it every day, you can slip away from it and fall away from it. Then I asked the boys, because I was really inspired by their generosity and goodness. I said, how many of you boys would like to go to heaven? Oh man, their hands are up in the air. I want to go to heaven. I said, how many of you want to go today? Put your hands down. I want at least a week of leadership camp, baseball, swimming, and all that. So I wound up developing this talk, which I call Learn It, Live It, Love It, Believe It. I gave it to a group of men at one of these conferences here in Midwest some years ago. And at that time, I called the talk just 3 L's. Live it, love it, or you will leave it. And someone came up to me afterwards and said, you know, we need another L in that talk. I said, okay, what is it? He said, learning. I said, you're right, absolutely right. You have to learn your faith first. Because if you don't learn it, how do you live it? If you don't live your faith, you won't love it. If you don't love your faith, unfortunately, many people leave it. So it begins in that learning process, which begins at home. Then, not too long after that, I was reading in my breviary a translation in English of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, where the Lord tells Moses about the 10 Commandments. Write them down on pieces of paper and roll them up and put them around your wrists. Put them on your foreheads. Write them on the doorposts. Speak about them at home and abroad. Drill them into your children. That phrase just jumped right on the page. Yeah, that's it. Drill the 10 Commandments into your children. If you're serious about something like sports, you do drills. If you're serious about something like music, you practice over and over and over again. If you're serious about training as a professional, whether it's in architecture or medicine or as a certified public accountant, there are very difficult exams that you have to pass. You have to prepare for them. Should we give any less to the faith and our intellectual formation? Now, not too long after that, and I was still chaplain at the boys' school in Chicago, Northern Prep, we needed a substitute teacher for the 8th grade boys in the spring semester. I don't know if you know much about 8th grade boys. They're 14 years old. And if you have one boy standing there, you have one boy brain. If you have 2 boys standing there, you've got a half boy brain. If you have 3 boys standing there, you got no brains at all. I said, oh, this is going to be interesting. How are we going to teach these monsters for a semester? And I thought about when I was in 8th grade back in 1973, at the epicenter of what I would call academic innovation. By the time I graduated, I knew it was Catholic. I grew up in a good Catholic family. I didn't know the 10 Commandments. Honestly. Knew about them, but they couldn't recite them. Could not recite the Apostles' Creed. This is family that I grew up where we prayed the Rosary. We just didn't start with the Creed. And I'm not faulting anyone, she's kind of third time. I said, you know, you're really handicapped if you don't know these things. So I said to the boys, I've got an idea. We're going to have an exam at the end of this spring semester on May 18th. That is the birthday of John Paul II. And we're going to call it the John Paul II Award Exam. And now they're getting interested. There's an award. And I said, if you get 100% on this exam, you'll get a trophy. And if you get a couple points off, you'll get a bronze medal or something like that. I said, well, yeah, Father Rocky, let's see that trophy. I said, well, tomorrow I'll show you that trophy, because I'm making it up as I go along. So that's good. I go to the Yellow Pages. Is there a trophy store around? There's a trophy store in Glenview. I drove over there. It was still open. I said, you can have anything for 14-year-old boys, which is awesome. And the one said, yeah, I think I do. Come to the back room, and she showed me this awesome bronze trophy about that high. It's got a large place there for your name engraved on the bottom, and it's a knight killing the dragon. It's just perfect for an 8th grader. I said, how much is it? She said, $30. Do you have discounts? No. Quantity discounts? No, it's $30. So I got the $3 medal and I got the $30 trophy. We brought it in the classroom the next day. I told the boys, remember I told you, you get 100% of this down. You'll get that trophy. It is awesome. It's cool. You'll get your name engraved on it. One day you'll get married and you'll put it up on the mantle in your living room. Your kids will grow up and see it. Your grandkids will see it and say, Dad, did you really get a perfect score on John Paul, the Great Award exam? Yes, I did. They'll be so proud of you. So there was a little boy there in the class. I love the kid. He was loved. It's Joey Kelly. He said, you mean to tell us, Father Riley, you buy a trophy for everyone if we get 100% on this exam? You'll be out $1,000. There's 30 of us. I said, yeah. Well, I really do hope you do well. It's a hard exam. I don't think you're all going to get it. So anyway, the day of the exam came. And we had prepared for it through the semester. And I said, now take out a pen, split away from each other, notebooks on your desk, and take out a pen and 3 or 4 pieces of paper. Now write from memory the following. Let's start with the 7 great prayers, and then the 7 sacraments in order. The 7 corporal works of mercy, the 7 corporal works of mercy, the 7 capital sins, the 7 remedies to the capital sins, and the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. That's a group of 7 of 7. The 7 great prayers are the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Lord be, the Active Contrition, the Apostles' Creed, the St. Michael prayer, and the Memorare. Later I tossed in as an extra the Hail Holy Queen. I said, and then please write out the 5 books of the Pentateuch, the 4 books of the Gospel, the 14 Stations of the Cross, and the 20 Mysteries of the Rosary in order. One boy finished in 12 minutes. Perfect penmanship, perfect score. Of the 30 students in that class, 7 got a perfect score. 7. 6 got 1 point off. One of them was Joey Kelly. He came up with this exam and said, Father Rocky, are you really going to take a point off on this? I said, what was it? Oh yeah, you wrote for that part from the creed that the Lord descended into heaven. I said, Joey, he didn't descend into heaven. He ascended into heaven. Oh, come on. I said, you're 180 degrees off, Joe. Oh, come on. I said, Joey, it's $30. We had so much fun that semester, and I think all the boys got the sense that I love the faith, and I want them to know the faith. And the reason I'm doing this is because Jesus sent the apostles out, saying, go and teach all nations, make disciples of all nations, teach them to observe what I've commanded you, baptize them in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So I applaud the work that is going on here at St. Ambrose Academy, and other schools like it around the country, and I applaud the families who recognize that this is a treasure. It's something beautiful that we want to pass on. And that when we take it seriously, youngsters take it seriously. I don't know how many of these men's conferences I've been at where I will challenge the men that I'd like to see if anybody could stand up, right in this crowd, would you stand up and recite the 10 Commandments? It's very rare that anyone do that in order. And I'd even offered a crisp $100 bill. We got close on the south side of Chicago about 2 years ago. It almost turned out to be right. Fortunately, the guy recited the 7th commandment in place of the 6th. He got it in dirty, so I stuck to it. I kept my $100. But we got close. First commandment, I am the Lord your God. You should have no false gods. The second commandment, don't take the Lord's name in vain. Third commandment, remember to keep the Lord's day holy. Fourth commandment, honor your father and mother. Fifth commandment, thou shalt not kill. The sixth commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. Seventh commandment, you shall not steal. Eighth commandment, do not bear false witness. Ninth commandment, do not covet your neighbor's wife. 10th commandment, do not covet your neighbor's goods. These are treasures that God has given to us. How much pain and heartache we would save across America if we just talk about it. The 6th commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery, is a real good idea. Their happiness, our spouse's happiness, and our children's happiness. So I want to encourage you, each of you this evening, to read and study the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which was released in 1992. It is a treasure. It is a unique document in the history of the Church. It is the only compendium document like it in the whole history of the Church that had a collaboration of all of the bishops of the world. It is very, very important. So we have to learn our faith, and when we learn our faith, then we live it. And the Church teaches to be a practicing Catholic. That means to go to Mass on Sundays and holy days of obligation. It means to go to confession at least once a year. But I'd ask the 8th grade boys, how often do you take a shower? Well, every day. Now, what if you took a shower once a year? Well, I'd stay. Well, what's more important, your soul or your body? My soul. All right, well, you don't have to go to confession every day, but don't go to confession just once a year. Being a practicing Catholic is the Sunday Mass, holy day of obligation, the confession on a regular basis, supporting the Church financially, and have that opportunity this evening, keeping those days of penance on Fridays and days in Lent and such, and to marry the Church according to the teachings of the Church. It also means to pray on a daily basis. So what happens if you only go to Mass 50% of the time on Sunday? Well, you're 50% practicing Catholic. What if you go every Sunday? Well, if you go to confession regularly, you're 100% practicing Catholic. And what happens if you do these things? You'll be joyful, like Pope Francis. Goes to Mass every day. Goes to confession every 2 weeks. Prays in front of the Blessed Sacrament every afternoon. And yes, you admit sometimes he falls asleep because he's tired. But I just love, that rich devotional life he has. That's where he finds that joy. And we can find that joy as well. And when we live our faith, we already begin to love it. I remember as a kid in my hometown, it was a very Catholic hometown, Hoffman, Illinois, that we couldn't wait to get out of school on Halloween, October 31st. We'd race home and we'd get our gear on and we'd go out and we would canvass the neighborhood to get all the treats we could. We'd always start 1 block away at Mrs. Kane's house. She lived on Midway Avenue. She had 2 blue spruce trees in the front yard. She had a statue of Our Lady of Fatima on the front yard. And she always gave a full-size Hershey chocolate bar. Not one of those weedy little one-bite vanilla, all right? 8 inches, 4 inches, ½ inch thick. And I said, gosh, Catholics are generous, especially in the devotion to Our Lady. So when I drive around now and I see statues of the Blessed Mother in front of people's homes, I make a mental note. If my car breaks down and you go over and knock on the door, they might have some chocolate. And when I drive around, I see people have nativity scenes in front of their house. How many of you have nativity scenes this year in front of your house? Don't be embarrassed, right? All right, so we can work on it, right? All right, and when I see a house like that, I give a drive-by blessing. It's much better than drive-by shooting. I said, some good people live in that house. They love the Lord. And we're happy about what we live. But what I really like is All Saints Day. You know why? Back then, you didn't have to go to school. And there was a football field right next to Washington Public School. And they were at school. So all the Catholic boys would play football all day long, right outside public school. Good Catholic, we're playing football. We learn it, we live it. We live it, we love it. And so much we could share here tonight about how much we love our faith. The rhythms, the ritual, the honesty of funerals, the sacredness, the reverence we give to those who die, the beauty of the anointing of the sick, the wonder of the Holy Eucharist, the glory of the Blessed Mother, the angel, it's all real. I could go on about that all night long. The time limits me, so I'll tell you just one story about something that makes me love the faith very much. It's the glory of the saints. The glory of the church is the saints. And we had a saint live in our recent time, St. John Paul the Great. And I remember when he came to the United States for the first time as a Pope in 1979. I was 20 years old. I was a sophomore at the university. He came to Chicago. Later that week he was in Washington, D.C. And I'll never forget it. It's October 7th, 1979, the Feast of the Holy Rosary. And there's John Paul II standing on the stage of the altar on Washington Mall in our nation's capital. And in the background is that iconic silhouette of the Capitol, the U.S. Capitol. And it was an overcast day, and it was windy, and he was holding on to his silver crozier, and his silver hair was blowing in the wind. He kind of looked like a figure like Gandalf the White. Right there's John Paul, our Pope, in Washington, D.C. On TV, on every channel, being broadcast around the world. And on that occasion he said, among other things, when the life of the unborn child in the womb is threatened, we will stand up and defend the life of that child. I got goosebumps. I said, that man has courage. He speaks with clarity. He speaks with conviction. Somebody's going to shoot that guy. And they did. But I don't know if that resonates with you as it resonated with me back then. It still resonates. That courage, that conviction, that clarity to speak the truth, love, hope. That's what we need. And I'm very proud every year when we see hundreds of thousands of young Catholics marching in Washington, D.C. to speak up for the children who have no voice. It's a beautiful thing. And you see the joy, and you see the hope. And you see the goodness. This is a reason why we love our faith. Because the lives of the saints We live without mercy, and live without charity, and live without joy. And this evening, each one of you, each one of you have that opportunity tonight and throughout the year to support the very important work of St. Ambrose Academy. That's why I'm very happy to be with you this evening. I've been involved in other startup schools like that. It's not easy. I was involved in a startup school like this 20 years ago, 18 years ago now in Pittsburgh, called Aquinas Academy. And everybody we consulted was said, "You're out of your mind." We said, "We already understand that. You don't have any money." We said, "You're not telling us anything new. You don't know enough people, you've got no experience." All right, but we can't stand for the status quo. The status quo just is not cutting it. And now that school has 400 students, K-12, boys and girls, has the highest academic standards in the state. And many of those youngsters going on to pursue vocations and service in the church, whether it's celibate warriors for Christ or in marriage. It's a beautiful thing. So no, it's not easy. And there will be people who will say, "I'm not sure it can be done. Not sure it can be done." But you know, that attitude, "I'm not sure it can be done," never won a war. Never built the Golden Gate Bridge. Never built the Transcontinental Railway. And that can never be our attitude as children of God, as Christians. Our attitude is, it must be done. With God's grace, the intercession of St. Joseph, Blessed Mother, your cooperation, it will be done. And it's the finest thing we can do as Americans for our country is to live our faith, to love our faith, spread our faith. That's what it's based on. There's no greater summit in terms of human progress than Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Our eyes have to be upon Him. To know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him. And so when we have that opportunity to support a school that promotes that, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Well, I'm very happy to speak with you here this evening. Very happy that so many of you dialed into Rev, ready to move forward on your prayers, especially for your support. We're very, very generous. We're thrilled that we can be now in New York City, reaching 16 million people in that market. And we want to reach 3 million people listening 5 hours a week in this country. Imagine 3 million people listening 5 hours a week, hearing the word forgiveness, hearing the word confession, hearing the word adoration. Because we have to be in the media in a big way in this country, because people are exposed to mass media 8 hours a day. If the church isn't in that space, people wander away. So continue to pray for the work we're doing. And tonight, I know you'll all be very generous with your prayers and support of the St. Ambrose Academy. God bless you and thank you.